Some people believe that family is the people you're born with, but sometimes, family is the person who chooses to stay. Liam and Mason met when they were 6 years old. It happened over something so small that neither of them would remember who started it. One wanted the red bicycle, the other wanted it too. After a few minutes of arguing, they decided the easiest solution was to ride it together. They crashed into a bush less than 30 seconds later. Both came home covered in dirt. Both blamed the bicycle. From that day forward, they were inseparable. Every summer was spent fishing by the lake. Every winter was spent building snow forts that always collapsed before sunset. When one got grounded, the other sat outside the bedroom window just to keep him company. When one got into trouble at school, the other accepted detention too, even if he had done nothing wrong. People joked that if you saw one of them, the other couldn't be far behind. They weren't wrong. As teenagers, life became more complicated. Dreams grew bigger. Responsibilities became heavier. Liam dreamed of becoming a firefighter. Mason wanted to build houses. They promised each other one thing. No matter where life takes us, one call. That's all it takes. So, yeah, years passed. Liam finally became the firefighter he always wanted to be, and Mason started his own construction company. Life, well, it got busy. Bills kind of replaced homework, and meetings took over those lazy afternoons by the lake. But honestly, nothing ever changed between them. Sometimes months would go by without seeing each other. Then, out of the blue, one phone call would come. I'm outside, and within minutes, they were sitting together, just like no time had passed at all. Neither of them ever kept score, and neither ever asked for anything in return. Because real friendship isn't measured by how often you talk. It's measured by knowing that, no matter how much time has passed, someone will still answer when you need them. When Mason's father passed away unexpectedly, he didn't call anyone else first. He called Liam. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Liam answered on the very first ring. I'll be there. He didn't ask what happened. He didn't ask how long it would take. He just grabbed his keys and drove nearly 4 hours through pouring rain. When he arrived, Mason didn't say a word. He simply hugged his best friend. Sometimes, the greatest comfort isn't advice. Sometimes, it's just knowing someone came. Years later, it was Liam's turn. A warehouse fire left him with some really serious burns, and the doctor said recovery would take months. Mason quietly closed his office and handed the business to his foreman. Every morning, before the hospital doors even opened, Mason was already there waiting, coffee in one hand, a terrible joke ready in the other. Some days, Liam laughed. Some days he just couldn't, but Mason came anyway, because that's what brothers do. Not brothers by blood, brothers by choice. Time continued its relentless march. The boys who once raced bicycles became men with gray hair. Their children grew up calling the other man uncle. Every family vacation somehow became one vacation together. Every Christmas included 2 families around one table. Every birthday photo looked almost identical. Just a few more wrinkles, a few more gray hairs, the same 2 smiles. One autumn afternoon, they returned to the old lake where everything had begun. The fishing dock had aged. The trees had grown taller. Even the water seemed quieter. They sat in silence for a long time. Finally, Mason chuckled. You remember that bicycle? We blamed the bike. It definitely wasn't our fault. They both knew it had been. The sun slowly disappeared behind the trees. Neither of them noticed. They were too busy remembering. Months later, Liam received a phone call he had always feared. Mason had collapsed while working. By the time Liam reached the hospital, he was gone. For the first time in nearly 70 years, Liam walked into a room, alone. At the funeral, hundreds of people spoke about Mason's generosity, his kindness, his hard work. When it was Liam's turn, he stood silently for several moments. Then he smiled. Everyone keeps asking how long we were friends. I don't know. It feels strange counting years. It was just my whole life. There were thousands of people I met along the way, but only one man ever made me believe I would never have to face life by myself. I hope you know, if my phone rings one more time, I'll still answer. Not a single person in the church held back their tears. Some friendships aren't measured in days or years. They're measured in every promise that was kept. Every road traveled in the middle of the night. Every burden carried together. Every time someone said, I'm coming, and actually did. Because in a world where people often say, "Call me if you need anything," the rarest friends are the ones who never wait to be asked. They simply show up. And if you're lucky enough to have even one person like that in your lifetime, you are richer than most people will ever know.